Be sure and tell them Large Marge sent ya.
In the 90s, we were just teeny tykes. We liked our movies and our bikes. We wanted to be DJs, but we were just teeny gals. So we went off to college and we remained as pals. 20 years later, we're still watching flicks and we're bringing you the feeling bit by bit. Sweetie and sweetie, we're here to say it's the Large Marge Santa's podcast. Hey,
Hey guys, welcome to the Large Marge Santa's podcast, your favorite podcast where two sweetie sisters talk about their favorite flicks from childhood. I'm Sweetie with a Y.
And I'm Sweetie with an IE.
And guys, it's been 5 years in the making. Da-na-na-na-na, Large Marge Santa's, Large Marge Santa's. That's right. Wow, it has been 5 years that we've been doing this podcast. 5 years. That's half a decade. Wow. Can you
años?
believe it?
How do you make plural a year?
Yeah. Años.
Años. I did the Italian thing where you like put an I at the
No.
end.
That's. Yeah. So, hey, 5 years.
5 years, guys. Woo!
We missed the actual anniversary.
so
Been very
embarrassing.
busy. I got COVID.
Oh,
and
Sweetie, are you doing
stupid.
all right?
I don't know. It's dumb. I don't want to talk about it. COVID's taken enough of my time and energy away. It doesn't deserve any more. I'm doing better, but it's pretty lousy and it's pretty stupid.
She's here, guys. She made it.
Barely.
She
Gotta
did.
go to bed. But so we thought to celebrate 5 years, why don't we go back in time to our very first episode that we did ever, which was Jurassic Park, and redo it because the sound was shitty. It was on the same computer, but we just like spoke into the computer microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Like total
To
noobs.
GarageBand.
Like total
I think we used
noobs.
GarageBand then.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We didn't know what we were doing. We were just talking. Not like we know much more what we're doing now, but we're like a little slightly more polished.
And we have certain like things
And
we do.
yeah, and I'm like not as mean to you, so like I think that it's gonna be good. So we
Yeah.
thought we'd just redo it, you know?
Yeah,
Just,
we've
like,
talked.
quick
Well,
trip.
Sweetie mentioned doing this like a couple times, and even some other movies maybe. So if this is successful, maybe we'll go back and do some others. Because the problem is we did so many of our really, really favorite movies at the very beginning of the podcast when we really didn't have our true form yet established, nor did we have the right tools or technology. No. So that's a real bummer to us that, we couldn't really give them the official Sweetie treatment. And especially now because we're doing movies that we either haven't seen as much or haven't seen at all. So it's really taken the podcast to like a different level. So it'd be cool to go back and maybe revisit those. We will see. You guys let us know.
I definitely want to do Princess Bride over again because I feel like we sucked at that one. And we just like didn't have the mojo or something. So there's a bunch of like that that
We'll
like I just
review
wish
the
we
past
redid.
ones and we'll see which
and
ones
Pee-wee's
would
Big
need the
Adventure. I feel like we
treatment.
didn't do good justice on that.
I agree.
So
So we started, why not just go with our first one ever, JP, Jurassic Park. So from 1993, Jurassic Park, directed by Stevie Spiels. Stevie Spiels. It was a huge movie. This is what I remember about it at the time, okay? I was 10 years old. It was a big FD, big fucking deal. Everyone wanted to see this movie. It got like a ton of press. I mean, people wanted to see this movie so bad that our parents dragged us to this movie, and I was 9, Sweetie was 6. Inappropriate.
But you said people wanted to see it. Why were we dragged? No, we were excited. I think I don't remember a ton about the marketing for this movie, but I do know that it was such that the movie theater was filled with families. And what we have here is like 90s Steven Spielberg, right? Where you're coming off like the 80s. And I feel like maybe like if this was after Jaws or something, like parents wouldn't have brought all their children to the movie theater, but because he was kind of like in his like family zone at this stage in his career, mostly. Schindler's List, okay, not, and Jurassic Park.
Was that right before this?
It was another 90s, right? Or 80s? Was that 80s? Maybe that was 80s. But
No, it was 90s.
I just feel like it was highly marketed towards kids and family, and it was like a dinosaur adventure, and nobody was prepared for like how fucking terrifying this movie was going to be. So yeah, the marketing was huge. I remember I got like a free Pog when I walked into this show, which like this was like heyday of Pog. So I thought like I was in heaven. We got to go to like the penny candy dispenser thing. I was like, this is the best day ever. We sit down, we watch the movie, the lights go down, and Sweetie shat her pants like almost immediately.
Because granted, like this movie's excellent. It's one of our favorite movies. I think it's one of the best.
It might be my favorite movie. I don't know.
One of the best movies of all time for us. It starts off with a fucking bang, and as a terrified 9-year-old,
I thought you said you were 10,
maybe 10, depending on when this came out. I don't know. 1993.
93. You said.
Yeah.
Hello.
What if it came out in March? I would have been
It's probably
9.
the summer. It's probably a summer blockbuster.
So I remember like it starts out with a bang, as I said. So it's like super dark. Remember, it's like very spooky. There's this thing with a box. Remember, like you don't know what's going on. You're like, I thought this was about dinosaurs. Like, and it's like this rustling behind these like dark trees, and you think it's the dinosaur. Anyway, scared the shit out of me from the beginning, and immediately I was like, I need to go to the bathroom. And my mom's like, why? You're gonna miss the movie. And I said, that's the whole point. That's the point.
Okay. Somebody did know that this movie was going to be fucking terrifying, and that person is Carol K. Dumas. She read the novel. She's told us that several times. So she, again, was like, I don't know why I took you to that. Like, that novel was scary. And I was like, oh, my God, Carol. But you know what? I'm glad they did, because it's one of our favorite movies. It was a great experience. Yeah, Sweetie didn't see it, but you know who did? I did, sort of. Behind my hands. I covered my eyes. I remember distinctly at one point crying out loud to my mother, being like, Mom! Because I was so scared. But I made it. I made it through.
Yeah. Here, I didn't.
And
I was behind my eyes the whole time. I kind of could sense when the non-scary parts were.
Yeah,
so
the music.
I was like, okay, like that's fine. But then most of it, yeah, I was like eyes, being covered. I got to write a movie review for this. My mom had like this little segment of her paper where she would let like kids do like movie reviews and book reviews. So I, like nepotism, got to do like all of that writing. And I remember writing this movie review being like, do not see this movie. It is too scary. And I was in 4th grade. I remember like all the boys in my class were like my teacher was so proud of me. Like, look at this article. And he like read it aloud in front of the class. And all the boys were making fun of me. Like, you scared of this movie. La, la, like, loser. I
bet they shat their pants too.
I know. It was really scary. But, with time, as Sweetie said, this grew to become one of our favorite movies. And, once you actually watch the movie, it's not that scary, because they actually don't show like a ton of stuff.
I mean, it's still
which
scary.
is what I mean. It is,
It's
but like
scary in concept, and it's like very
It's scary in concept.
thrilling
Yes.
and action driven. So
Yes.
there's just like a lot of.
And I will say, watching a
feelings.
movie in the theater is about 20 times scarier than watching it at home, like on your TV.
Yeah.
A, the screen's bigger. B, the sound's louder.
Sounds so loud.
C, it's dark. Like
D, other people are screaming too, which is part
Fuels
of
the
the
fire.
rush.
Yep.
So yeah, but it's a great movie and we love it, and it's no surprise that we picked this as our first ever movie that we reviewed, so it makes sense to revisit it.
Definitely.
In 5 years.
So as we said, Steven Spielberg, director. Who is in this movie? Sam Neill. Hottie. Just looked at a picture of him now. He's like in his 70s.
Jonesing for Sam Neill.
Hot
She
old man.
has already ordered a poster. Yeah. She's going to put it on her bedroom ceiling.
Hot
Sorry, Jimmy.
tamale.
It's happening.
You got Sam Neill. You got Laura Dern. With a big, like crazy star that she is now. I mean, she was a big star then, but like.
Well, she had a crazy comeback with Big Little Lies, and she's really had there's been a Laura Dern renaissance.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And so,
And
it hadn't even happened at the time that we covered this movie the first time, I don't think.
Right.
So,
No,
wow.
I don't even know what she
Things
was
have
doing
changed.
then.
Things have changed.
Jeff Goldblum, always a winner. Love him as Malcolm. This role is freaking awesome. First of all, he is like the moral center of the whole movie.
But also a rape artist. Slightly.
Yeah. So it is confusing. Like I'm pulled in like 2 different directions with him, but love
At the
him.
core,
Love
seems
him.
to be a nice guy.
Yeah, I
Just
think so,
like
too.
little too touchy feely.
Get the kids.
Yeah, he cares about
He
the
really liked the
kids. Yeah.
Richard Attenborough. sweet old man, though delusional, we all know, as
Psychopath.
yep, as JP owner,
Jurassic Park.
originator.
That
Yep.
stands for Jurassic Park.
BD Wong. Love him in these little roles. As Henry, the doctor, the geneticist. Wayne Knight, a.k.a. Newman, a.k.a. Butterfingers, Dennis Nedry.
We should have listened to that. But I'm pretty sure you said that exact same thing in the first time that we did this.
Awesome.
That's great. Yeah, old Butterfingers. Great role for him. Really solidified how we felt of this man, Wayne Knight, who we just knew as Newman. And so it's basically the same character, just like very unlikable, fat, sloppy person who ruins everything. So it made sense that it was him. It was just like the perfect role for him. Samuel L. Jackson.
You didn't say the magic word.
Hold on to your butts. Great
so good.
role for him. This was during also the Samuel L. Jackson kind of renaissance in the 90s. A year later, he did Pulp Fiction, obviously, which skyrocketed him even more fame, even though he had obviously done a ton of movies before them. But I feel like the 90s was really like his time to shine, and it totally started with this. And then that's...
I want to give a shout out to people you might not know the names to, but
Yeah.
are very important. So the big game hunter, whose name is
Muldoon.
is played by Bob Peck. Just want to give a shout out. Don't know any other things he's done.
Pecker. Just
Love
kidding.
that name. He's a British guy. I'm sure he did some British things. But didn't know his name. Found it out as I was
Now we
doing the
do.
research. Bob Peck. Sadly, he has since passed. Bob Peck.
What?
I know. R.I.P. This movie is
that?
like
When?
30 years old. So
Well, did we know that last time? I feel
I
like we
don't
would have
think
poured
so.
one out for him.
yeah.
I'm really sad about that.
He was in his. It was only in his 50s.
I am sad.
And then the two kids.
99. Shit.
Yeah, the two kids played by Joseph Mazzello and Ariane Richards. So Joseph Mazzello is in Radio Flyers, like the only other thing I can like think of. The little brother, Elijah Wood's little brother, the one who's getting like abused, remember, and like
Jeez,
flies away in the
Can we give
wagon.
him like a nice role?
know,
Like
poor
he's
guy.
like trauma here, trauma
know.
there, trauma
But
everywhere.
if anyone saw Bohemian Rhapsody, he was like randomly the drummer in that.
yeah. What?
Like it came out, nobody
I
knew.
thought that
he
was a
looks
dream.
Like 100% different.
I thought that was a dream
And
I
also,
had.
he was playing like a British dude, so people were just like, "What?" I remember that when that news came my way, I just like could not believe it. And then I don't think the girl does acting anymore. My only reason for saying that is because when you look at people on IMDb and they still have like their childhood photo up,
Yeah.
you're like, okay, you didn't.
It wasn't for her.
continue. Yeah,
She wanted to focus on STEM and being a computer hacker. So
I'm a hacker.
she's cool. She's
a
You know
computer.
what? She's my new favorite character. We didn't give her a ton of love last time. No, I guess we did, but like I'm really impressed by her hacking skills. Like how many 11-year-old hackers do you know? Not a lot.
Did she hack though? She
Yes.
literally like pulled the mouse up and just like
Hacking
clicked
is
on
just like
something.
you know how to do shit with a computer. It's like Sandra Bullock was like a hacker in the net. Like
just want to say that she's very brave. She's a very good big sister. I feel like I would
she
have been
did
the
great.
same way.
How did she? I mean, she doesn't know you're not supposed to shine a flashlight at a dinosaur. Like that's not something they teach you. I'm sorry.
Whatever.
In school,
Don't fault the kids for being
or
scared. It's
whatever.
a terrifying
Like,
situation.
They got put in this situation against their will. So like whatever.
Right.
Anyways, so now we can, we'll kick it off. We didn't really do like a full synopsis. I think I
Yes.
crammed it in like a minute
we
last time
didn't-
because we didn't have sweetie synopses.
If you followed us, through the years, 5 years to be exact, we didn't like incorporate Sweetie Synopsis for like the first couple episodes. I forget when we started it or why, but all our little like gimmicks that we do sort of just like unfolded naturally for us. We didn't really think about it. We just did it and then we just kept doing it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
When you do like almost 300 episodes, this is what happens.
Almost 300. We're not at 300,
No, we're at 270 something.
but I mean all the bonus episodes. I'm sure.
Yeah,
Like,
maybe,
special
maybe.
ones. I'm sure we're there.
True that. Okay.
Sure, we're there.
It's time for the Sweetie Synopsis.
Yeah, sweeties.
Hold on to your butts.
Isla Newbar, home of
La Isla bonita.
Jurassic Park, inspired by Madonna's hit song. I love Bonita.
Comes,
guess
they're
what?
gonna eat you up.
Sweetie, guess what? Guess what? Huge groundbreaking scientific development. Scientists have discovered that mosquitoes bit dinosaurs way back in the day, 65 million years ago or whatever you want to call it. And they died and got sucked up in some tree sap, and they found that tree sap later, and then they extracted the DNA and they created dinosaurs. Wow. So
What are the odds of
evil,
finding that piece of amber?
I know.
Please tell me.
Evil genius. I mean, the odds that, a lot of odds have to be. It has to be a mosquito that bit a dinosaur.
Yep.
Has to be enough of it that it is a dinosaur. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they've found a lot of birds and other things, not dinosaurs. Maybe, I don't know.
I know amber is a thing, obviously. So this fossilized tree sap. That's what amber is, right?
But with
but with a
the
bug in it.
mosquito in
Yeah.
it, maybe not. And then so it's confusing.
What dumbass mosquito? You know how slow
they're pretty dumb.
tree sap moves?
We don't
slow
know.
as sap.
This was 65 million years ago.
You know what dumbass mosquito?
Sap was probably a
It's
whole
covered with sap.
Sap was probably a whole different thing. It's a whole different animal.
Speedy sap?
Yeah, it was. There's sappy trees, okay?
That's a lot of sap.
But evil genius mastermind John Hammond.
I just had another,
Yeah?
another line from National Lampoon's. God, what is it, honey? Something really full, a lot of sap.
The tree.
Yeah.
Good one. But yeah, evil genius John. He's not a genius. He's on the shoulders of geniuses, right? As my friend Ian Malcolm would like to say. But he is. I don't know what his shtick. He had a flea circus, so he's really into tricking people and making attractions.
What are
of
his
whatever
jobs
that
before
is.
this?
I don't know. Flea circus and
They should
this.
do a
That's all I
prequel.
have. I know. So he's basically making this theme park with dinosaurs in it. So he needs some people to endorse the park for people to pay more money so that they can fully fund it or whatever, finance, blah, 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 boring. So he enlists the help of some experts. So he's got Dr. Alan Grant, who is a paleontologist. We have Dr. Ellie Sadler, who's a paleobotanist. Didn't think you knew that those existed, did ya? Ian Malcolm, who's a mathematician, specializes in chaos theory. A lawyer, Donald Geronimo. He sucks. Gennaro. And that's it for his panel of experts, whatever. So he flies them to Costa Rica, to this island. Unbeknownst to the group, there was a tragic accident only nights before, probably, when poor Joffrey, the gatekeeper, this is not Ghostbusters, it's Jurassic Park, but the gatekeeper who's responsible, for transporting, they were transporting the raptor. I don't know why they had to move the raptor. Where was the raptor that they needed to move it back to the pen?
Maybe it had grown up because they like must move them around when they
maybe
get
they're transporting it or they were like separating it. It was on timeout. I don't know. But tragic accident. The raptor killed this guy, so no one mentions it ever again. So it's like too bad for him. Joffrey, R.I.P. So they arrive to the island and they are fucking bowled over. They see a brachiosaurus like first thing out the gate, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
I mean, dream come true, right?
Dream come true for them,
for their
It's
career.
like, yeah, they've just been looking at dinosaur bones, all this time, and now they're seeing the
it's
full
being
thing
like
in front of you.
Freaking, I don't know, art history major and getting to meet like Michelangelo. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing like it.
Yeah, I guess.
And they obviously they never thought that was a reality. Their whole career and passion is looking at dinosaur bones.
No.
And it's like unless you had a time machine to go back to the Jurassic era.
Yeah.
Never would happen.
And like they're really excited at first, but like the more they get to know about the process and what's happening, the more they're a little bit like, "Yo, John, this ain't right." So basically, they're saying you can't do this. I mean, dinosaurs were extinct probably for a reason. You can't bring them back now, 65 million years later. P.S. You're mixing a bunch of like different dinosaurs who were in different periods together. Like Tyrannosaurus Rex weren't with Brachiosauruses at the time. I think those were in different periods, maybe.
Yeah, which even to me, like I always forget, because when you're a little kid and you're like studying dinosaurs and you think, okay, like why weren't they all together? But that is kind of fascinating. That and you're talking about split of like so many years. It's not like
like a lot of
50 years, not like 100 years.
Millions,
yes,
probably.
It's insane.
But it's just about money. So, 2 other people they've decided to add to the tour are John Hammond's grandchildren, who he thinks it's a good idea to bring them for this test. This is like early stages of the park, by the way. Like, not a lot is done. They have the dinosaurs, but like they haven't decided to like prioritize putting locks on the doors of the cars. So
what's that called in like software? Beta testing?
Yeah, I mean, it could even be before beta. It seems like alpha phase. Like, it's just, it's bad. So they send the group on the tour. And this is, we're going to see some dinosaurs, hopefully. They don't see any dinosaurs because guess what, guys? It's like a fucking huge... It's Costa Rica. We're in Costa Rica. And the dinosaurs are just like in a pen doing whatever they want. And none of the dinosaurs are coming up to see them. Yeah. Probably the dinosaurs are pissed that they're here. They're like, why did you wake me up after 65 million years?
They're taking a shit somewhere and they're not
They're busy. They're busy.
They're busy. So, side plot. Do we get to the side plot yet?
Oh, no, not yet.
So, side plot is that you have evil Dennis Nedry, who is Newman, we all know, has, doesn't get paid enough as his, what is his job?
He's like the computer programmer of the entire Jurassic Park.
Right. So, I don't know. He just doesn't look like it. Don't judge a book by its cover, but because he just is really disorganized and kind of slobby, right? But yeah, he controls like everything by computer and programming, and it's very, the technology in this movie seems archaic now, but for the time it was very like, whoa, everything done by computer, automation, like that's so cool. So anyway, so he's a real beef with John Hammond. Apparently doesn't get paid enough, so in order to get some money, he is made this plot to sell the the dinosaur embryos to a competing company so they can make their own park, I guess. And so has this plan to shut down the security system, steal the embryos, get on the boat out of there, and make like $1.5 million or something.
I mean, there has to be an easier way. Like, I don't know why you have to shut down. I guess theoretically he was only shutting down a portion of the park. And the reason the rest of the park got shut down is because they need to reboot the system. But still, he fucked it up. Like, if he didn't do that, none of this would have happened. But really, the true villain is John Hammond. Still, I maintain. Anyways, yeah. So that's the side plot. So in the midst of the tour, Dennis needs to do this. So he's like, "Oh, gonna get some snacks," and then sets up this like autopilot program to like shut down the things that he needs so that he can steal the embryos. So that's happening. Meanwhile, there's also a storm about to hit the island, and so everybody's being sent home, but they're still having this tour. Finally, they bring the tour in. There's like a sick triceratops. Everybody gets out, goes and sees it. It's this big thing. Ellie stays with the sick dinosaur. The others leave. The storm, or is it because of Dennis? Or is it the storm at this point that they stop in front of the Tyrannosaurus paddock?
No, like everything is shut down.
Because of Dennis.
Yeah.
Because
like
of Dennis.
Were on their way back.
Yeah, they're on their way back. Unfortunately, the electric Ford Explorers stop in front of the Tyrannosaurus paddock, and now the Tyrannosaurus is...
And all the power's out.
He's there.
The fences are off.
The fences are off. Here comes Wow. Hell breaks loose. Tyrannosaurus Rex comes through. Everyone's freaking out. Again, these are creatures that have been extinct, so we don't know how to interact with them. They think we're all just animals that they can eat. So it's, chaos, as Ian Malcolm predicted.
Talk about chaos.
And so the lawyer gets eaten, pretty much right away. That's what happens when you wear shorts and a suit with shorts. You get eaten by a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
He was business on the top, party on the bottom.
He's just like, okay, I mean, maybe it's just like a tall guy thing, but like tall guys cannot wear a good suit. The jacket is always way too long. Danny Tanner, same thing when Danny Tanner wore suits. Like the jacket's too long. And the shorts, don't even get me started. I mean, it was hot, so I get it, but like, I don't know. Can't he dress down? Can't he dress casual for once?
Get
It's a tour. You're on a
and
tour.
just- come on.
Yeah, that would have looked good. But yeah, he's dead, so R.I.P. Ian takes a tumble. We don't really know what happened to him, but he's not
happened there?
looking too good. And unfortunately, the kids, bad business. The T-Rex really smashes the shit out
Bad
of the
reaction
car,
to the
and
dinosaur.
they almost die. And Timmy gets flown over the side in the Ford Explorer
Remember
into
this,
the
kid.
tree.
If a dinosaur comes your way, do not shine a giant spotlight in its face.
I mean, maybe.
Just remember that.
Well, the thing about the T-Rex is that its vision is based on movement, so he couldn't see if you're not moving, he can't see you. But like if you're flashing a light, he sees the beam, so that's what's attracting him. So, and Timmy's a dinosaur expert. Like he knows this, but panic mode. You don't know. You're just scared. Whatever. So I'm not totally blaming them.
What did she think that was going to do?
Listen, it's
Blind
not.
it?
It's not about Lex. If John Hammond hadn't put them in this predicament, then none of that would have happened. So like he's still the true villain. So, anyways, so they go over the side. Alan goes to rescue them, and then Timmy's in the tree. But everybody's okay. Don't worry. So he gets them out of the tree. They go off into the park. Meanwhile, Ellie and Muldoon come back to like see where are they. They find obviously all this chaos, so it's not good. They find Ian, put him in the Jeep, get him back. They have a close call with the T-Rex again, and now things have gone to shit. Like John Hammond's sort of upset, but like not to the point that he's like super concerned, which is surprising because his grandchildren are just like out in the park, but he thinks it's fine because they're with a dinosaur expert. And so basically the rest of the movie is like Dr. Alan Grant and the kids trying to get back to the park, and then Ellie and the rest of the people trying to get the power back on or trying to get the computers rebooted up. So they try a couple shenanigans. They like shut down the whole system. Poor Sam L. Jackson is like, yeah, I'm going to go reboot the power shed. Back in 3 minutes, no big deal. And he's off, doesn't come back. So you're like, shit, I think
you overestimated that.
he's probably dead. What takes 3 minutes? It
Is on
doesn't
the
even
other
take-
side of the compound.
That's pretty far.
Yeah, why is that going to take 3 minutes?
Gas-powered Jeep.
I mean, I like to exaggerate too. I say everything takes 8 minutes. Okay, exaggeration. But come on, 3 minutes? What is he thinking?
Right.
Also, take
optimistic.
something with you. There are
It was
dinosaurs
optimistic.
roaming
Take
around.
a gun.
Yes.
Take Muldoon. Muldoon should have gone first thing. First
Take
thing
a
should have
car.
gone. Take Muldoon. So now Ellie and Muldoon have to go and like see what's up. So they do it. Ellie gets to the shed. There's unfortunately raptors hunting them in the jungle. So like bad news there. Poor Muldoon gets eaten. Saddest death, I think, by far. He's the coolest
I
character.
don't understand why he had to die.
He was like the only one worth a damn, in my opinion, who like knew stuff other than Alan Grant, and he's fucking dead. He's gone, just like that. But on the plus side, Ellie does get the power switched back on. So now they're up and running. They just have to reboot the system, and everything will be fine. So the kids and Alan Grant come back after a couple of other, shenanigans. Timmy gets electrified by the electric fence. Bad day tough day for Timmy. Thrown over in the car, zapped on the fence, and then what happens next? Everyone knows, but they get back to the visitor center. They're like, yay, dessert. There's just a dessert tray left out. They're eating it, and the raptors come into the visitor center. So pretty much like three main villains in Jurassic Park: John Hammond, Tyrannosaurus Rex, and the raptors. But really the rest of the movie is like seems to be about the raptors, really, if you think about it. So yeah,
I mean, I'm torn, and I think this movie does a good job of making you not completely hate the dinosaurs.
I love the dinosaurs.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not their fault.
It's not their fault, and I think it does a good job of like they are the villains, but like they're not. And maybe this also is because I've seen the other ones where they do suddenly make the velociraptors into like good characters.
Yeah.
So that confusing my mind.
It does.
Also,
It makes me a little sad. I'm like, oh, but I get like a little sad when they get killed by the T-Rex at the end. But life is life. Like life goes on. But basically now the power's back on. The velociraptors are in the house. They need to get out of here. So there's like a kitchen scene, great scene with Timmy and what's Lex. They escape, and then John Hamm picks them up in the Jeep. The T-Rex saves the day and like barges into the visitor center, kills the raptors, and they all escape.
And they all agree.
No endorsing the park.
No,
the park is
no go for the
shut
park.
down. Sorry. See you later. Back to the flea circus. So they leave, and everybody's pretty traumatized, and that's it. And the dinosaurs are just on the park. And because of this, what do they call it? The lysine clause or whatever. Mm-hmm. The dinosaurs are going to die in however long because they don't have people supplying them with like the amino acid they need. I think it's they are supplying them with things every day. So like if they shut the park down and they're gone, then I think it just is going to happen. I don't think they need to like do anything.
Got it.
But that's it. And obviously we left some things out, but I'm sure you've all seen the movie. Really great scenes in this. It's just action on top of action.
What are your favorite scenes?
My favorite scenes, definitely. So I think the opening scene is a real killer. It's a great scene. Very exciting. You don't know what's going on. It's very Jaws-like in that you don't see the monster, the creature, which almost makes it scarier. And so it's that same principle, which I love. The T-Rex scene is fantastic. I maintain that like the animatronic T-Rex that they use is so good that it's like spooky. Like I'm like, is that a real dinosaur? I don't know.
And we said this a couple times, like at least I'm sure when we did this originally, and probably in other episodes too, that the CGI of the dinosaurs for this, in that case it was an actual, like Jaws was an actual animatronic monster, right? It weighed 12,000 pounds apparently. So that was its own thing. But then the CGI effects with the dinosaurs were kind of revolutionary at the time. When we saw the movie, people were just like blown away by the technology. And for me, like it's still really good CGI that I think has really like stood the test of time, and it looks like pretty real. CGI is like kind of overused now, and I feel like it's been like,
I think
just it's not that good even what we have currently, and this is like an older version and like more like how it started. And
some
it's
of
still so good.
Some of the purely like computer graphics, like the Gallimimus flocking, it looks kind of fake now, and the T-Rex in the mirror in the Jeep when it's like coming out, like you can kind of see it in that. But when they stick to animatronics or like the puppets,
Which
I think that's prefer. Always you want to prefer that, but unfortunately that is very expensive, so it can't be done all the time. So it's mostly just used for these kinds of little scenes of these things happening. So definitely that, and then of course the velociraptors in the kitchen scene is very tense, very memorable. But I also like the. When Ellie has to run to the shed and she's like, run, that's a great scene. I love that. A lot of great scenes. Those are probably my favorite though.
Yeah.
I need to add.
I think the Newman scene is really good too. Oops. When he is approached by the dinosaur who seems like really sweet. And like a little dog, and he's like chirping, whatever. And then
that's the part, by the way, that I screamed,
"Mom!"
because I like didn't expect things to come flying out.
That puppet or whatever is like unbelievable. So it like does this hiss thing, and these like giant fan like ear things pop over, and it's like they have like lizards like that. I forget what kind of lizard that's like that.
Iguana?
No, it's not iguana, but it's that kind of lizard that does that too. And then it spits all this black muck at him that like makes him go blind. Oh man. And like in all the killing situations that you see people getting killed, so I guess it's Nedry,
Muldoon,
Joffrey, and Gennaro, I guess, are kind of the main ones, right? That's actually the only ones.
Yeah.
All that goes through my mind is like, what would that be like for a dinosaur to be like eating your face? And the way like all the kill scenes are, they're making these horrible noises, even whether it's like the cow. So there's this, actually that's a really good scene too. So they basically show you like how lethal the velociraptors are. Again, using that technique where you don't see the velociraptors. It's like feeding time, and they lower this live cow down like in a harness into the raptor pit, which is basically just look like ferns covering this like giant pit. You don't see anything. But then when they lower the cow, the cow's like moo, and then it's just like all this rustling and the cow going like a moo for like another second, and then it's just this like tearing sounds, and the crazy dinosaur sounds.
The velociraptors do this like scream, this like high pitched scream, which is wild, and it's pretty.
And all you can think of is like, because as Sweetie said, kind of this technique that Spielberg has of not showing things. It's like your imagination, which is honestly like worse than probably what anything he could do on film, just with like the limits of when you're doing like filming, is just way worse.
Ugh. He learned from Jaws. Don't try to show it all. Yeah. It's actually better if you don't. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's really great. I mean, the whole movie is just classic. As Sweetie said, literally nothing beats that Jurassic Park scene. You know, when it starts, the thing of water that has the dinosaurs walking, and the thing of water is making like little movements because of the, what is that?
Tension.
Yeah.
Impacts.
Tremor. So it starts with that. So you kind of like, okay, you figure out that's kind of like what it is. And then when the dinosaur, like, I don't know what he does, but he like, or how he does it, like the things fly off, like the electric fence, they like all fly off one at a time. And then he like puts his hand like over the like high voltage sign. And I
mean,
like,
it's a girl, so don't forget.
Still.
She.
And makes like that noise. Oh man, it's just so good.
It's good.
It's really, really good.
Good.
The foot goes in the mud. It's like this huge leg. Man, good stuff.
Good times. What else? Anything else?
So hold on. Just looking on my notes, kids, real quickly here. So you talked a little bit about poor Timmy, the punching bag here. So we were always like, what? Why did they make Timmy like go through all of that, all the bad stuff? Like, why could nothing happen to Lex?
I mean, she was traumatized seeing it all happen to Timmy, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. It's a good question. She could have done the fence thing, I guess. But, like, I think maybe because he had been spooked earlier from being in the tree, that, like, it made sense that he was also a little spooked coming down quickly from the high fence. Yeah. So maybe that's why. I mean, Lex has a close call at the end. She flies through the ceiling tile and almost gets her leg bitten off by the raptor, but it's real quick, so it's not as traumatizing. But the whole experience is very traumatizing. So I'm sure they're going to be in therapy for a very long time. I think that would have been a fun cameo. I know she's not acting anymore, but like if they had her or Timmy, I mean, Timmy could have come back to Jurassic World and been like, "Do not go to the park." Like he could be like a crazy guy with a sign, like, "Don't go to the park. It's bad news."
That's like what happened to him.
He's just like a homeless guy who's still likes dinosaurs, but like has a sign on Hollywood Boulevard or something.
Okay, what is up with Ellie and Alan? Did they make it? / what is their relationship at all?
I'm still not even convinced they're dating. Like, I know they are, but like they don't. Absolutely no PDA whatsoever. To the point where Jeff Goldblum like thinks he has a shot with Ellie because they don't make this apparent that they're dating. They're talking about kids. I'm like, have you guys even kissed yet? Like, what is the situation?
Clearly, they're like work partners, but they probably like fell in love on the dig, right? And that's kind of where they're at now. But they're just dorky scientists, like on a mission, and they just like don't have time for the PDA. I don't know.
I mean, I guess Spielberg's never been like a PDA kind of
right. It's
guy.
not like a romance. And like I think
it's
they
interesting.
do try to peg like the Dr. Grant as a little bit like cold, because he's cold to the kids. He's really all about like his work, and he spent like his whole life just digging up dinosaur bones. So,
but things have changed now that he's spent a night with the kids. He loves them.
He wants kids.
Now he wants kids.
Yep.
He's probably a great dad. He comes back in the third one.
Oh,
I think.
he does?
I think.
Cool.
I don't know. We'll check in. We'll check in on how he is. I don't think he and Ellie made it, but
Oh my
God,
God.
it's too bad.
Bogus.
It's too bad.
Okay, can you own a Jurassic Park Jeep / Ford Explorer?
Yes, for sure, definitely. There's
Where
a place
can I get me one of
where
those?
I live that makes like custom Jeep Wranglers,
That'd be so
you
cool.
could probably they do like sports teams, but you could probably do a Jurassic Park one, no problem. So
I remember at the time, so like we said, this is 1992, 93, Ford Explorers were like
Huge.
the rage.
Huge.
Oh my God. Didn't the Universal Studios Jurassic Park ride, like you basically did the Explorer, Ford
it was the
Explorer
Jeep.
tour,
I think it was
right?
a Jeep.
Oh, it was a Jeep?
But yeah, you were basically like in
The car
Yeah.
doing the whole thing and it
Yeah.
like comes out. Whoa. Did anybody go on that? I'm sure people did.
Probably Jimmy did.
I think that'd be so
Cool. I would have been too scared.
Yeah, I would have been too scared too. So we were obsessed with dinosaurs, as most kids were. And I just want to give a shout out to my dinosaur box, which was probably the best Christmas present I ever received. Here's what it was. A red box that said dinosaurs on it, and inside were like 50 little dinosaurs of like all of the different species. And we would take that out and play with it all the time. It was so much
we had
fun.
those for a long time, and it had like a key,
And a key and a lock.
Yeah, pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
Joanna got you that.
Yeah, I got a big dinosaur book. The
Colossal Book of Dinosaurs.
I learned a lot.
Right.
I was a huge dinosaur fan. And so in that sense, I was really excited to see this movie because I was like, yes, dinosaurs. I did not know it was about them, going to be them like eating people's faces.
Which, like, I know, but like, you have to wonder, dinosaurs. You've got carnivorous dinosaurs here. Like, obviously, something bad's going to happen. And I think the lure of dinosaurs is just like the unknown, and the scale of them is just something that we can't fathom today in our time because we don't have anything that compares to it. I remember looking through a National Geographic, one of my favorite like National Geographics, to be like, ooh, let me peruse this. Was a picture of a guy standing next to a Brachiosaurus like leg bone that they dug up. And the scale of like compared to this man who was probably like 6 feet to this dinosaur bone was just like so immense that my brain like can't comprehend that there would be a creature that size. And so that's the lure of dinosaurs, I think. It's just like we don't know. We can't experience it. We don't know that. We can't fathom that. So
well, if you get the
just
opportunity,
amazing.
Go
See dinosaurs in real life.
Yeah. Go to, I'm sure I think the Smithsonian has good bones, but the one I recall and have been to kind of recently was the New York Natural History Museum. Has an amazing set of dinosaur bones, and it's really amazing to go see and, like you said, stand next to them and be like, oh my God, holy shit, these things are huge. Because it is hard to wrap your mind around stuff that is that big, because you just don't see that on Earth these days.
Ever. I mean, the biggest creature we have is the blue whale.
But it's underwater.
It's the same, but we'll never see one of those.
I know.
I will say, if you, I don't know if this is still around, but there was a show when I was in college called Dinosaurs Live or something, and I got tickets for me and my boyfriend, and we had like front row tickets. I was like super excited about it. Obviously, it was for children, but it was a cool experience because they make like animatronic dinosaurs that can be like moved around. So if you kind of don't pay attention to the bottom thing that's like a wheel, like they do really look like real dinosaurs. And the raptors were like people wearing suits, and so that was pretty cool. But it was very exciting, and I really liked it. I'll be honest. And it was thrilling. So
Do you remember the show called Dinosaurs?
yeah,
when
it's
we
on
were growing
Disney
up?
Plus, I think.
I know. We watched a couple episodes. It's freaking weird.
Well, yeah,
It's
like
bizarre.
puppets, creepy.
No, it's people in the dinosaur costumes,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I mean.
Yeah. Ugh. And it was, I don't know. I got really creeped out. I remember it was like all the rage, that dumb little baby people were obsessed with. Not the mama. And we went on.
We were obsessed with it.
Yeah, I think we kind of were. And it makes me feel sick because I like watch the show and I'm like, oh, this is like not funny. And this is like kind of strange. And I remember we went on this road trip. I think we drove to Florida and McDonald's was doing a dinosaur themed Happy Meals. And we were obsessed with getting like every one of the toys. And we kept getting like the sister.
We got 3 sisters.
Yeah, we got 3 sisters. And then we were... I mentioned this on the podcast.
Yes, you did. I think the Jurassic Park podcast.
We found the baby. Someone had dropped it like in the playground at McDonald's. And I was like, oh my God, jackpot.
Best day ever.
And we took that.
We took it.
Used.
Yeah, we did.
Toy.
Hell yeah, we did.
We're
not going to let that go to waste. Come on.
Oh God, weird now.
Prized
weird.
possession.
I do remember it was like a little bit like worse for wear.
Keep losing your pad. It's
I
getting
know,
stuck
it
in your
keeps
sweater.
Okay. Last but not least, we always like to add in a couple trivia bits. Now, I remember I did do some of these in the original episode. I only picked 3, but I definitely am retreading
they're
one.
the same.
Yeah, I'm definitely at least retreading one I remember. So, okay. Did you know that in 2005, paleontologists actually did find red blood cells in fossils of dinosaur bones, and that Jurassic Park actually could happen because of that.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure you said that last time. So I remember. I remember that.
Creepy.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Okay, I hope not. Here's why. Watch this movie. What are they, crazy?
Yeah. Don't do it.
What are you, an idiot? Like, this is exactly why this movie was made. Like,
so preoccupied if you could. Didn't think if you should.
What does Jeff Goldblum say? Like, nature cannot be tamed.
Just what I said. Just right now I said that.
Life will find a way.
Yeah.
Don't mess with nature. Okay, the T-Rex was, as we said, was this giant 12,000 pound like animatronic robot thing. Similar to how the Jaws shark always malfunctioned in water. They had a lot of problems with it. It like sank to the bottom of the ocean. They had to build another one, all this stuff.
I think you did this one too last time.
Yeah. So the T-Rex was very sensitive to any rain. So that scene has rain in it.
Yeah.
And it would just like...
I thought it was like Hollywood rain, or like it didn't rain on the people. It was like in the background.
Put a tarp over them. But anyway, so they, anytime it would rain, it would malfunction, and then it would just kind of like come to life randomly. So they'd be like eating lunch and the thing would activate and like scare the shit out of people.
Have they learned nothing?
I know. Pretty cool if you think about it though. And then last but not least, I definitely did this one. But
so
I
you
find
did
it
all
hilarious.
of these.
Of course I'm going to pick out the same ones. I'm
like
the same
50.
person. I did a lot in the past other episode. So my favorite trivia fact is that, and we've talked about this, that like Steven Spielberg movies, like there's always like something that gets saved. Like he has a gremlin like in his office. Like he has like something from Jaws. You know, there's always like trinkets, right? But in this case, he gave all the stars models of raptors, and they put it in different like parts of their house, right? So it's like Jeff Goldblum has his like in the entrance to his house. The girl had hers in her house somewhere too to like scare people. I don't know. And then this weird fact about Laura Dern putting it in her baby's room, like over his crib, and he couldn't sleep at night. So she had to like hide it away in the attic. Why would you put it in your child's room?
Come on. I mean, keep in mind, we made sweet little Ronnie Rose at 2.5 months old watch Jurassic Park also, just for like a second. But I think, yes, that would be very traumatizing for a kid. Well, so I don't know. Maybe it was an homage to Jurassic Park, the novel, in which a dinosaur does eat a baby's face in the beginning of the book.
The book is excellent. If you have not read it, it is awesome. The beginning scene is very scary. Is it the nanny goes in? The baby's like crying or something, and the nanny goes in, and like these little dinosaurs had gotten into the bassinet and basically like ate the baby's face. Yeah. So its face
got eaten,
is like a pool of mushy goo.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. Yeah, the book is great. The book is even scarier than the movie. There's a great scene with the T-Rex like in water that's very like reminiscent of Jaws, and probably what led Steven Spielberg to like want to do this project. I'm assuming it just same thing, a novel that scared people and
Well, I guess
rocked their world.
I don't think I did this trivia fact last time. He was working on a movie version of ER, which is also like Michael Crichton, I guess, stuff, and they were going to make a movie out of it. But then he got this script or this project and dumped the ER project and did this one instead. And then he was involved in the TV
Hospitals
show, though.
versus dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah.
Easy choice.
Easy peasy.
TV.
But yeah, Michael Crichton's kind of awesome. You should read some of his stuff if you haven't.
He's awesome.
really,
He's
really
dead
good.
now. I think that a lot. He also did Westworld, and so he definitely has a thing of like parks or like science going awry is like his shtick. I just read the one that he was writing when he died, and so somebody else finished it. It's called Micro, and I had to like stop reading it halfway through and just take like a couple weeks off because it was like really fucked me. There's like this one scene where this guy gets like drawn and quartered by a bunch of ants, and it just like really fucked me up. So that's good, not good bedtime reading, but great books. So yeah, Jurassic Park, redo. What's that?
Sorry.
What's the French word?
Crichton. He has another dinosaur book that's sort of like
What?
old timey that came out posthumously.
Old timey.
Yeah, that I read that was like pretty good. It's like gonna be too hard.
Oh boy. Anyways, so what
Dragon
can I
Teeth.
say?
That's what it is called. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. Anyway, yeah.
And it's not a sequel
No, it's not a sequel.
because he did do Jurassic, The Lost World.
Yeah.
Also,
there were many sequels to this that were pretty terrible. I saw The Lost World like on TV randomly, like a couple
it's bad. I
months
guess.
ago, and it was so boring. It was bad. The premise is like Julianne Moore is this scientist who is like back on the island, and they're trying to like do studies of the dinosaurs that have been like living wild there, and they get like Jeff Goldblum to like come back because that's his ex-girlfriend or something, and then he has this little daughter who's the girl in Harriet the Spy, and like she's there too.
It's confusing.
It was
stupid.
it was not good. It was really, really bad. And then you said that there's another one that you think
The third
Dr.
one.
Grant comes back. Yep. And then they rebooted the whole thing with basically someone, I guess that company trying to start up the whole Jurassic Park again with Chris Pratt. Those have come out recently. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Like we enjoyed those a lot.
Into it.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Kind of want to rewatch
Yeah,
that. So
I
maybe
kinda
I'll
wanna
do
watch
that
that
this
too.
weekend.
Yeah, good call,
We
good call.
shall say.
But that's all we wrote, guys.
Hopefully we didn't say all the same stuff. I'm gonna laugh. I'm gonna.
Oh, God, I don't want to know. Please don't tell me. I'm embarrassed. It's gonna be you being mean again, and we don't need it. We don't need that in our
I
lives.
just have a really good memory. I can't help it. Anyways, so yeah,
The
good
challenge
times.
wasn't to not say things we said the
I
first
mean,
time.
kind of. Just
No.
to like make it better. So like we're just gonna say the same shit we said last time. I don't know. It's fine.
She's being mean.
It's fine. I just think it's funny because it's just like it's the exact same word that you used last time. I'm sure I did it too, but like it's just funny how it sticks in your brain.
Of course.
All right. Well, happy 5 years.
Woo, we
Still
did it.
kicking.
Did you know that 5-year anniversary is wood?
What did we
What
get?
did we
What did we
get
get?
each other?
I got you this table.
I would have got you something, but
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
But yeah, guys, thanks for sticking with us for 5 whole years. Can't guarantee we'll be with you for 5 more. That seems crazy. And we might run out of movies, believe it or not. But we're
We'll
all, like
just
we
redo
said,
them.
almost up to 300. So yay for us. Thank you for being our super duper fans. From those fans that have been with us from those shaky GarageBand, echoey, terrible sound episodes to the peeps that we have now. Sweetie just got actually someone reached out recently that she knew. Did you want to give her a shout out today?
Oh, well, I was going to do the, when we started spooky September.
Oh,
but
never mind. No, we'll save it.
Okay.
You're getting your shout out next week.
Next week, Sharon, watch out. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for listening. You can find us on Twitter at The Sweetie Club or on Instagram at Large Marge. Send us. Thank you, as always, for listening. Bye.
Bye. Rape artist. Malcolm. Yeah.
Ian Malcolm a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. Hold on to your butts.